Hi, this is Shauna for the Iron Shauna Project. This week we actually have some tips for you. Should I say I have some tips for you because it's really just me. So no dish, no recipe this time. Some really useful hints and tips and a joke that you may have missed last week if you didn't watch the whole episode. And what else did I want to tell you? I recorded my first audio-only podcast episode this week. My first guest was Patrick Rost. He was a classmate at Bainbridge Graduate Institute with me, and he agreed to be my first guest over the phone. So we had a great conversation about packing lunches for a 10 to 12 hour workday where you have no refrigerator or microwave use. And it was a really interesting and fun conversation. I look forward to posting that and sharing that with you all soon. Look for it on the WordPress site at the bottom. There's a little player at the bottom, and you can go ahead and subscribe there. Just anytime the new podcast episodes come through, they'll get pushed to you if you are subscribed. Something that occurred to me is that I should explain, not that I should, it's probably evident, my knife skills are probably, I could use some practice. I have gone through, or sat through a couple of demonstrations, and I watch people like Jamie Oliver and some other folks out there who actually will show you how to use a knife correctly, and so far, I still have them on my fingers, so I must be doing something right. At the same time, I realize that some of the things that I do are a little less than safe, and my basic philosophy on cooking is that it's kind of like that Ratatouille guy, anybody can cook, and to me it's like somebody made up these recipes at one point or another. I think we all have a right to dive in and just make up whatever we're gonna do and as long as we're safe with it, who cares? Basically, after you've done your mushroom and green tea powder, actually in between the two even, you'll want to throw a little salt in your spice grinder and grind that up, and what that does, it's a little trick for removing the flavor from the previous food ingredients. So if you do your green tea, then you do the salt, and then you do the mushrooms, the way I did, it cancels out the flavor. It's kind of like cleansing your palate between sips of wine, if you are familiar with that. When you are cooking on a stovetop, especially a gas range, you want to make sure that you clean it in between cooking times or as frequently as possible. The reason being is because the food can actually gum up the source of the gas and actually cause efficiency problems. So keep those stoves clean. I may actually bring out some of my trusty orange oil that I made last winter, fall, I don't remember. I was eating a lot of oranges and I just soaked a bunch of peels in vodka for about a week, strained, and then let that sit with a filter over the top just to reduce some of the alcohol, even more of the alcohol, and it turned into kind of an orange essential oil that I use in hot teas, but I also will use it for cleaning stuff like my stove. It cuts through grease like a wizard. I was just seasoning my pan. I started the camera thinking I'd tell you a joke and I seasoned my pan instead. Basically, you just don't want to leave any water on it. Don't use soap, or if you do, just a very small amount of mild soap, and heat it up with the oil on it so that it re-seasons and keeps it from rusting, and once it's cooled off, it's ready for your next use. Here's the joke, maybe. It has to do with insomnia, which most of my classmates can probably identify with. Okay. What do you take to fight insomnia? A good glass of red wine. Does it work? No, but it keeps me happy while I wait to fall asleep.